All right, folks. Well, it looks like maybe we are missing one panelist so far. Our project engineer for MnDOT, Mark Anderson. Sometimes he does get pulled away with other projects. For instance, he is also working on the Red Wing Bridge. So if he does happen to join us later, he'll hop right back in. And if we have any questions for him, we'll make sure that we get them to him. But he may hopefully join us here in just a little bit. So, as that is said, then let's get ourselves underway here for this Tuesday again. Thank you for joining us. This is the Highway 61 Lake City Reconstruction Weekly Public Meeting. We host these every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Today is September 15th. And as I mentioned before, my name is Cindy Morgan. I'm the Public Engagement Coordinator for MnDOT for Southeast Minnesota, and that is District 6. Today, we are going to go through some information about the project that's happened in the last week and what we can expect coming up. But before we do so, some folks are new and joining us this week. So we're going to quickly go over some of the housekeeping items so folks are acclimated to how this is going to work. When you enter into the presentation, all the phone lines are muted. This is to help ensure that we have a good quality audio experience for everybody. If you are joining us online and you happen to have a poor audio connection, something is just not right, you can call in and join us by phone too. And the way to do that is to call the phone number 1-855-282-6330. You'll need an access code 146-908-7261. And that's obviously a lot of numbers to remember. So if for any reason you need it, it is also located at the bottom of the screens. And so just reference down there and you should be able to hopefully overcome any of those technical issues. This is a host and panelist style presentation with representatives from Rochester, San Gravel, MnDOT, the City of Lake City, and the Lake City Chamber of Commerce. You have 3 ways to ask questions today. If you're joining us online, simply use that chat button that you'll see in your navigation bar and type in any questions. And you can do that at any point in time through the presentation. So if you know you have one right now, feel free to go ahead and put that in. If you are calling by phone, you don't have that option, but we do want to provide a way for you to be able to ask questions and get those answered. And so you can head on over to the MnDOT project webpage. And once you're there, there is a comments tab at the top. It's right next to the meetings one that you probably use to navigate here. And just simply type that in. My coworker Sheila is monitoring that for us and will let us know if there are any questions that come through that way. And as always, Dick Swinke and myself are available for questions at any time. It is difficult for us to answer those as we're in the presentation, but if you do need to reach out to us before or after, you can always do so and reach Dick at 507-259-4059. And his email is Dick Swinke, dick.swenke @rochsg.com. And my name again is Cindy Morgan, and it's 507-951-6593. And my email, Cindy, C-I-N-D-Y, @Morgan, M-O-R-G-A-N, @state.mn.us. All right, folks, there we go. Let's talk about our agenda here. So we've obviously have our recent progress and upcoming work. Mind the Grass. We'll tell you what that's all about here coming up, and then we'll connect you to some of those future Highway 61 projects. So with that said, Dick, it's now your turn. Why don't you go ahead and share with us what was the recent progress this last week?
Okay, the total project progress is at 70%. Last week in the middle section, we were 40% complete. Roadway backfill at 100%, concrete curb at 50%, concrete sidewalk at 50%, and the electric system at 50%. Upcoming this week, the middle section, concrete sidewalks, concrete curb and gutter, bike trail grading, sidewalk grading, colored concrete, and planter beds are being installed. The crossings for the middle section are Walnut Street, Lyon, and Marion Street. That concludes the information.
These feel shorter and shorter every week here at Dick. It's nicer to only have one section to talk about now instead of 2. One thing that I noticed that was really hopefully a big milestone there is is that the backfill work is now complete. And so if I understand correctly, that means that there's no more large excavating anymore?
No, and they're down there this morning getting ready to do curb and gutter from the South Street around Walnut to the north by the Dairy Queen. And that's going to make it look quite a bit different too by the end of the day.
Yeah, we've noticed that in some of the other sections that some of those features, like those distinguishable street features, when those start to come in, it really does take kind of more of a different kind of look. And that seems to be when some of the more detailed things come into play, like it sounds like there's planter work and also some of that colored concrete work coming into play this week too as well, huh? Well, thanks, Dick. I appreciate that. Mind the Grass. This comes to us from Rochester Sand and Gravel. Obviously, you know, as progress was done and work is completed, there is some seeding done, and the growing season for them at this point in time for that grass is a little on the short side. So they ask that we send just a quick notice to folks that please stay off the grass. That's really helpful for the seeds to be able to germinate and then also have that appropriate time to get established before it hits the winter time. So please, if you do see any of that new area that looks like it's been seeded, just go around it. That would be very helpful. And if you are any property owners that are along that way, make sure that you wait to mow that until it's about 4 to 6 inches high. That is more gives it that better or longer time for it to, again, to get established so that it can survive our nice Minnesota winter. All right, the detour, obviously we're on our last detour here. Takes folks in off on 63 to the west side of town to 10th Street and back in on County Road 5. Again, Goodhue County Road 5. So this is our shortest detour out of the bunch and our last one here. No more details will be in existence, obviously, as soon as we finish up that mill section and get road traffic back onto the roadway. I promised to connect you to a couple other projects. So we have at MnDOT, obviously, I've been working on many projects. Sometimes we work on them as much as 10 years out. So I want to get folks acclimated to a couple more that are coming up in the region. This one is just to the south, Wabasha to Minnesota City. Construction's coming up in 2022. It is a resurfacing, but it is quite a long project, about 26 miles, and there is some bridge improvement going on there. Another one that's coming up in 2022 is north of Red Wing, actually on 61 near County Road 18. There is going to be a reduced conflict intersection, or otherwise known as an RCI or a J-turn. That is going to be installed again in 2022 to help out with traffic flow and improve safety at that intersection especially. And then also in 2022, there is a roundabout that is going to be moving in, or going in, a little further down, or up on Highway 61 from County Road 18. This is at Highway 316, and a roundabout construction there for similar reasons, again, safety improvement in that particular area. In 2023, there is going to be a resurfacing of Highway 61 just north of Lake City to Red Wing. This one does include some proposed passing lanes, some intersection improvements, turning lanes, bypass lanes, all those kinds of features to hopefully help improve flow on Highway 61. And also there is another bridge reconstruction in Red Wing. This is the one over Withers Harbor Drive. And again, that's in 2023. So lots going on here. If you are interested in any of those projects, just like we do with this particular project, head on over to MnDOT.gov/D6 for our region, and then /projects. And you'll find a whole list of all the upcoming projects. On there, just click on it. You'll be able to find the information. And if you are interested in staying connected like you have been with this project, on the right-hand side, there's going to be a Stay Connected box. Click on that. You can sign up for those email updates. Several of these are going to have some public meetings coming up shortly, and those are great opportunities for you to provide feedback. Let us know what you think of the proposed construction design, and those are also opportunities because we are still far out enough in advance to be able to make changes and adjustments to those too. So again, we ask you to participate if you're interested in any of those meetings. All right, folks, so now it's time for our question opportunity. So it looks like we have one that's already come in. Mike Zamunda has asked, it looks like, is the light system for Gold Star Mothers Park flag part of the electric work being done? So Dick, well, is that, or maybe Mark, I see that you're on now. Mike is asking about the Gold Star Mothers Park flag. Is that part of the electric work being done? And he's clarifying here, he says the light shining on the flag at night. Maybe that's a city question.
Yeah, Cindy, this is Scott. I don't believe that is part of this project. That would be something that we would just do internal to the city.
Okay. Thanks, Scott, for answering that. Another question here. This one's coming in from Mayor Nichols. Oh, he is asking for an update on the timing of striping and parking in downtown. Last week we had said that that was going to be coming up here shortly. And he said that lots of folks are continuing to ask questions about that. So it looks like that's something that folks are looking forward to. Mark, I believe last week you had answered that question. Do you have any update, or maybe Dick, you have some information too?
Yeah, Cindy, this is Mark. They're out there. They started grinding in the locations of the stripes and markings yesterday. So I guess I'm not sure when everything will be finished, but they have started working on it.
Wonderful. So it sounds like that's going to be very shortly here. And he replied back, excellent, so great, wonderful. All right, and Sheila has emailed me and said that there have been no email questions kind of come in just yet. All right, folks. Well, we'll give folks another minute or two here just to type in those questions quickly. While we're doing that, we'll go through our Stay Connected opportunity. You know, as I was talking about with those other Highway 61 projects, we have those email updates, and that is also set up for this project. So if you're still interested in becoming a part of that, we send out a weekly update to folks, and if there's any kind of short notice or information that needs to be shared, we also use that as well. Head on over to the MnDOT project webpage on the right-hand side. Again, is that Stay Connected box. Click there, and then you'll be able to sign up for that. There are several Facebook pages dedicated to sharing information about this project. The most dedicated one is the Lake City Highway 61 Reconstruction Project. That one shares information solely about this project. Follow that and like that for constant information about this project. MnDOT Southeast Minnesota is also sharing information, and the Lake City Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber has offered their text messaging services, especially for any kind of last-minute updates or notices. And so if you're interested in signing up for that, text Notify Lake City to 313131. And again, the Lake City has to be capitalized and both words together. And Michelle has offered her help for anybody who has any questions or issues, and you can email her at lcchamber@lakecity.org. We have one more question here. Oh gosh, you know, this might be for maybe someone within our MnDOT family here. So Mayor Nichols asked, when we list future projects, how far out do we fund? I'm a little bit newer to MnDOT, so I feel that I'm not sure that I have the exact information for that. Mark, or maybe Aaron, is this something that you guys can help out with?
Cindy, I guess I don't know the exact answer, but I think it's funded as either 3 or 4 years. You know, we have programming that goes out, I think, 10 and 20 years, but those aren't funded yet. But that would be someone more for like Greg Paulson. He would have that answer, or Heather.
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe that you are right from my knowledge that we tend to be more on the execution side of things, Mark, you and I. And so, yes, typically when we get within that time frame, that's from my understanding of when those projects receive funding and typically are a go. But out before that tends to be a little bit more of the planning side and figuring out what we would need to execute a project. So yeah, that's my understanding too. Thanks for the help there, Mark. I appreciate that. And then also for Mayor Nichols for the question too. Okay, folks, seeing no other questions then, we'll go ahead and wrap up our meeting for today. Again, I just wanted to say thank you for attending. We'll do this again next Tuesday at 8 a.m. So in the meantime, I hope you have a safe and healthy week ahead, and we'll see you then.